Well, okay, yeah, I see. Well, whatever. We're gonna be able to edit it
Yeah, we'll edit it. It's fine. We'll
theoretically.
edit it out,
Theoretically,
hopefully.
cool. Okay, so first of all, congratulations on your Fulbright.
Thank you.
It's pretty freaking incredible.
Thank you.
How did you decide that you wanted to apply for a Fulbright, and why did you decide that?
I really wanted to spend another year abroad. So I spent my sophomore year in India on a different, like, sort of federal scholarship. And it was really
What
amazing.
was that?
What?
What was that called? The other
The,
scholarship.
the Boren Scholarship.
And how did you find out and apply to that?
So if you contact Professor Adrian Baxter Bell, she's like the sort of coordinator for all of the external scholarships that are like offered outside of Marymount. That includes like the Gilman, the Marshall, Boren, Fulbright, like a lot of different things. And she like coordinates that and will help you revise your essays. She's an amazing editor and really will like um, get your essays polished to the maximum degree. So I just kind of linked up with Professor Bell. And yeah, I just kind of wanted to go for another year abroad. I love sort of seeing the extent of the world in which I live and experiencing new cultures and languages. I love languages. I think it's important for personal growth too, to understand myself better and, you know, my fellow human beings, as cheesy as that sounds. Yeah, I think it's really fun to live abroad. Definitely a struggle too, but rewarding.
So you lived abroad in India for a full year,
For the full school year, yeah.
for the full school year. And so then, how did you decide on Fulbright and South Korea?
So Fulbright is essentially like a post-grad abroad scholarship. So the Boren, you have to be enrolled in school, whether that be undergraduate or graduate. So I couldn't do that like as a post-grad thing. Actually, I'm not sure. I don't really know about if you have to be enrolled in a grad school for Boren. But anyways, um Fulbright's post-grad and it's very prestigious, and I knew that you know, it would be really kind of monumental for my career if I were offered a Fulbright scholarship. So, you know, you just got to go for it, I guess. Yeah, and it pays to go and live abroad for a year. I mean, who doesn't want that? So, yeah.
And why South Korea?
By South Korea. So in India, like compared to South Korea, India has like really poor gender equality sort of cultural practices. And I am interested in gender equality in relationship to um, environmental sustainability and like the ecological
Mm-hmm.
crisis in general. And gender equality, once it like reaches a certain positive threshold, it's expected that sort of the environmental crisis will follow suit because women are statistically proven to spend more money on things that are beneficial towards the environment, and they tend natural resources better than men. Like they're just generally more efficient, and especially within agriculture, things like that. And female leaders also tend to, you know, they're inclined towards more peaceful relations, which in turn is more positive environmentally. So gender equality and environmental issues are really important to me. And I know that South Korea, I think, is number 10 in the world for gender equality, which is really amazing considering it's in Asia, where a lot of
Yeah.
gender equality practices are pretty not great. considering, I have experience in
Yeah.
Korea where it was pretty rough. So I really wanted to just kind of like see the flip side of it, and see South Korea as a case of best practice, for gender equality.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I know that you also applied to some other schools abroad and were accepted. Do you know, in your perfect world, would you go do your year with Fulbright and then defer your attendance and go to grad school abroad as well? Or have you not thought that far ahead?
So yeah, my whole plan with this whole shindig was essentially to do Fulbright for a year and then go right into grad school afterwards. So at the moment, in the perfect world, as long as the coronavirus doesn't throw everything off course, which it already has,
Yeah.
I would be going to Korea for a year and then coming back and going to possibly London School of Economics for a year, to get my master's, which I'm really excited about. I also might go to University of British Columbia. That's a 2-year program, so it's a little bit more of a commitment, but not by much. I'm leaning towards
It's
London
live.
right now, but yeah.
Speaking of the virus, obviously we are both speaking from our childhood homes, not in New York City. So already it's been very disruptive. What have the people at Fulbright told you about your program that you've been accepted to?
So they essentially said, like, they are following the protocol of the federal U.S. government. All of the Fulbright people have been sent home from this like current cycle. So all of them were sent home pretty recently. And they clearly are not planning to postpone my cycle, or not planning to cancel it, because they've already sent acceptances and things like that, or coordinating things. But I imagine it'll be postponed for maybe 2 or 3 months. I'm scheduled to leave in July, which is pretty soon. I would imagine that I would leave in September instead of July, which is fine with me. I'll just wait tables and
Sure.
do that until then, build up some money.
Okay, cool. Well, irregardless of the global pandemic, this is still exciting news. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to? You already mentioned Professor Bell, who helped you with the first scholarship, and I'm assuming this one. Anyone else you want to give a shout out to?
Probably Professor Andreas Hernandez. He wrote one of my Fulbright recommendation letters and one of my Boren recommendation letters. I also had Professor Worcester write one, and Professor Leary. They're all really great in like editing my essays. I wrote 22 drafts of my essays, which is just ridiculous. Each draft took about like 6 hours to write. Like doing, well, I guess 2 drafts would have been 6 hours, because there's 2 different essays. But yeah, so they all like really helped me pick apart every word of those essays and really like refine my resume, and just like throughout my college career, really given me like, all my professors have really been so supportive and like given me lots of great opportunities and all of those great things that one needs to fly after college.
So it sounds like you're really going to take your 2 majors and really just continue along that path that you started for yourself.
That's the plan. I hope so. It's like,
remind the people what the 2 majors are.
I'm a politics and human rights and environmental studies major, and I just added a minor in international studies.
Just for fun.
Just for fun.
Just for fun.
All
right, cool. So what final question, what fun thing are you looking forward to this summer once Ali Oxenfree happens and we all get to rejoin together as a human race?
Once we get to rejoin together as a human race. I am looking forward to being in New York during the summer and going to my favorite place ever. It's called the Brooklyn Barge. It's like a floating restaurant slash bar in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. It's just on a dock, and it's just beautiful, and the view is beautiful, and the food's great, and the company's always great, and just like hanging out and enjoying the water and the view and life.
That sounds gorgeous. I'm going to go on my bike and I'll see you there.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, congrats again.
Thank you.
And I'm going to figure out how to edit this and post it up and let the people know.
Woo!
Woo! All right. Go get ready for your remote learning.
I will.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.